Surely police need to find.
So here's a story from Sky News Australia. And it appears that they are complaining now that Victoria Police has censored vital media coverage of Melbourne protests. So Sky News and other news organizations were banned from flying drones to show the protest. And here they're saying that it's because Victoria Police were unable to control the crowds that were protesting. And in an effort to prevent that message from getting out, they basically denied anybody the ability to fly a drone except for the police themselves. And now these guys here are whining about it, and they're basically saying, "Oh, this is so terrible. How dare they do this? This is censoring the media. This is making it tantamount to a police state, basically." Okay, how dare they try to stop us from doing our job and bringing people the news and telling everybody what's going on? Well, it's interesting. This here was posted September 24th. Okay, so this is on September 24th of this year, 2021. Where have these guys been the last almost 2 years, the last year and 2/3? Okay, when people have been getting shut down, when people have been getting banned from Facebook, when people have been getting kicked off Twitter, when people have been having their opinions on Facebook censored, when people have been trying to shut down groups like Rebel News from getting involved in political discourse. And I understand Rebel News is in Canada and this is Australia, but there's Rebel News in Australia as well, right? With Avi Yamini, who does reporting there. So these guys, now that it's affecting them, are getting all upset and offended. But I didn't see a lot of stories here from Sky News Australia. And actually, there's a number of things on Sky News that I like, that I think are decent. Okay? But I didn't hear a lot of these three talking heads going off about how dare they prevent Avi Yamini from getting into political conferences when Avi Yamini was trying to do it. Because Avi Yamini is viewed by the mainstream media as like a radical. Okay, they say, "Oh, he's a radical," but he's not really. Okay? If you listen to any of their stuff, it's not radical. But here we go. We're going to listen to this guy here talk. So
Sudden, the information is not coming from reputable journalists. It's coming from people there who do have an agenda on the ground, and the information is worse. The quality
of information is worse. So his argument is that if you're not letting us put our drone in the air and give good quality information to people, then they're left with nothing but looking at the people that are actually on the ground, walking through the crowd, getting the story and sending it out. And if we look at something like this, we're going to go, police move in to force healthcare workers. Okay, so here's the story, and this is Avi Yamini. Okay, and I don't know why this does it, but it says it's been blocked, but then it'll start playing in a few seconds here. So we look at something like this, and they're saying, but now it's by an agenda-driven media.
Will not be portrayed like that into.
It's an agenda-driven media. It's not good, unbiased, high-quality reporting like we've had. Okay? Well, who are you to say? Because you've got an agenda of your own. The fact that you weren't standing on principle for all these other organizations that were being banned shows that you have a bias, that you are prejudiced in what you're saying. You have a particular point of view. And when it comes to ideology, your ideology isn't freedom of the press. It's not, hey, we want as much information out there as possible, and then let people make up their own mind. And that is the key, right? More information is good information, because people can say, hey, this sounds like BS, and then they will go and research it. Or they will say, hey, this sounds reasonable, and then they may believe it. And they may believe things that aren't true. But you know what? In a free country, that's allowed, okay? That's the key thing. In a free society, you have the right to be wrong. That is truth, okay? You are allowed to do that. People believe the earth is flat, great. They're allowed to think that. They may be a nut job, but who cares? You're allowed to be a nut job, okay? And when I see something like this here, when Avi Yamini's out here talking to people, literally just going around, talking. Hey, what do you think? Why are you here? What's going on? And they show footage How is this lower quality information than what you would get from your drone? Okay? And understand, I think these guys should be allowed to fly that drone. 100% they should, right? And they should be allowed to bring you their biased, slanted, opinionated media. Like I say, I like some of their stuff. I dislike some of their stuff. And some stuff that I get, I go, that doesn't sound quite right. And I look into it. And I may go, you know what? Actually, they make kind of a good point. Or I may say, yeah, they're full of crap. That's just the way it goes. But when I see this guy walking around, talking to the actual nurses and the protesters, and then he comes out and he talks to somebody, and we're going to try to find it here. I don't know how to just advance by a few. Here you go. This woman here. There you go. So he's talking to this woman who took a photo, who ostensibly says that she took this picture the day before this protest. Okay. She's got it on her phone. Now, I don't know that she took this the day before. Maybe it's from 3 years ago. What do I know? Okay. But there's a ton of people there. And then Avi Yamini shows that here they are with a protest like this, people spaced out, socially distanced, but now there's suddenly police everywhere. Okay. How's that bad quality reporting? That's legitimate reporting. But these guys don't want to say that other competitors, and I put competitors in quotes, competitors are doing a good job, because then they have to step their game up. They can't just say, oh, these are agenda-driven outlets with low-quality information. Okay? You're only pissed now because it's affecting you. You should be just as pissed if it's freaking Joe Blow in his microphone and freaking iPhone going out there interviewing people and being stopped from doing it. If the police come up and harass and harangue them, you guys here should be fighting just as hard for that guy's right to get that information, as you now seem to be upset that you can't get your information. Okay? If you lie down with dogs, you wake up with fleas. And the sad fact of the matter is, if you go along with censorship of one group, don't then go complaining when later on you're the victims of that same censorship. Because the powers that be, the people in power, they will go after the low-hanging fruit. And when that low-hanging fruit is done, they will go after the medium-hanging fruit. And when that medium-hanging fruit is done, they will go after the high fruit. And if you currently are top dog on the heap and you are the high person on that chain, you got to understand, when you see those low pieces of fruit getting picked off, it's only a matter of time before they finally get to you.